Black and white photography can be a great way to express how you feel about something that you're photographing. In the first two episodes of Exploring Black and White Photography, we looked at using shadows and using texture. Today, it's about mood. If you have any comments or questions, you can address those down below. Now today, on Exploring Black and White Photography, as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at mood and how to create mood in your black and white photography. Let's get started. This is what I love about black and white photography. You can take an image and create something completely different in mood, in the feel of it, just by changing it to black and white. Take a look. This is the original. And I really do like the original, but it wasn't conveying what I wanted it to convey. What I wanted was it to feel kind of cold, and stark. And I think that really does it. Look at the difference. Nothing wrong with this. But when I change it to black and white, boom, it just feels abandoned and old and cold. And I just love that feel. And I find that black and white photography really brings it out. Look at this shot in the middle of a river in the fog. It's just stark. And that's one of the things you can really do with black and white photography, is to create that stark feeling, that almost empty feeling. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. It's just something that I kind of enjoy bringing out in some of my photography. It's a feel. Over here, same thing. Fog doesn't hurt to create that stark, lonely feeling. But this in black and white is different. In color, nothing wrong with that. And if I was feeling a little bit differently, maybe I'd leave it like that. But just gives it something. Again, the mood. Again, nothing wrong with it in color. In fact, I really like this in color because of the warm tone of the sand and then the bluish tone of the sky and the water. But I felt like something a little bit more stark. Or how about this one? For a different mood completely. All right. And I'm showing you these often in the color version as well, because often I will, I shoot most of my photography in color actually, but sometimes when I'm looking for a different feel, I will definitely go to black and white. Now this one in color is an elderly gentleman sitting on a fall day. You can see the trees starting to turn color here, sitting on a bench, and it's pretty and it's really nice. But I wanted to try to convey something a little bit more, and I don't want to use the word ominous, but I wanted to convey something like a weight on him. Maybe it's the weight of being a little bit older, or maybe the weight of a lifetime of experiences. But that's what I was trying to convey with this, and this photo in this particular version didn't do it for me. Converted it to black and white, and I made everything dark in the back. I used some masking. I used a blue filter. I just wanted to really put the highlight on him. He's the only thing that's really, really lit up, and the bench. And I wanted to put some weight on his shoulders. And in black and white photography, one of the ways to do that is to go to black, go to very, very dark tones, and it kind of puts a weight on. At least that's the interpretation that I was going for. And speaking of age, how about aging some of your photos just a little bit? And that's as simple as taking a subject like this, which is an old abandoned mill, and putting a warm tone on it, doing a little bit of light toning. In this case, I used a photo filter, but you can, use any type of toning you want. This is the way it looked originally. This is the actual black and white image right now. And now you put a tone on it, you put a warm tone on it, and it's almost like a sepia. And you can add a sepia tone or any other kinds of toning, coffee filters, all sorts of different things. But it just really takes something that's old and gives you that vintage feel. Same thing here. Now, I could have used this image in a tutorial I did not too long ago on abandoned places and things, but I saved it for this because I wanted to show you. Now, this is a shipwreck. It's a boat, and they're holding it up by these wires here. Otherwise, it would have gone right over. But now I've toned it, and I've used those warm tones again to try to give you a feeling of age and a vintage quality to it, a retro quality. But here it is without. This is just the black and white version of it. Nothing wrong with that. But when you add the toning, it just makes it just ages it. It makes it look aged. If I really wanted to work on this, I guess I could, digitally put, cracks in it and make it look like it's a really old photo or something like that. But this is the version that I wanted for this particular image. The other thing you can do with black and white photography to create mood is to define and simplify. Simplicity is a really key thing. Now, I'm just going to take off the black and white layer here and show you what it was like in color. It was mostly black and white except for the green on this leaf here. For me, that was extraneous. It was just a distraction. Turn it to black and white, and all you've got your shape, you've got your tones, and you are concentrating mostly on the water drops. And that's what I wanted, and that's what black and white did for me on that particular image. Simplification. Same thing here. The dandelion. You know where it's at. It's in a field, and you can see it, and it's very clear. But when you take away the color, now you're concentrating on the dandelion. How about defining the tree branches? And lastly, one thing I've talked to you about this before in other tutorials. Do you really want to turn a flower into something that's black and white and take away the beautiful color? In this case, a close-up of an iris, the color version. But when you change this one to black and white, it's like it almost speaks to you. Once you get started on black and white photography, you're hooked. It's a great way to express yourself in this fantastic medium. Until next time, I'm Ray Scott reminding you it's not what you see, it's how you see it. And I'll see you soon.